Wonderful to be with you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Welcome to The Garage, the court of public opinion, and our little rant on a Tuesday morning and a Thursday morning, posted at 9 o'clock by my dear friend here, Peter Clayton. How's the radio show going?
Good.
Good?
I don't know if anyone's listening, but I'm enjoying it.
We never know if anyone's listening until we say the wrong thing, and then you find out big time. So it's Triple Z 91.1
But you
FM.
You need to stream it because it's community radio, so
It's community radio, so you need to stream
it
it.
doesn't get down to the city.
Yeah, and you'll be happy with the Crows?
Very, very happy with the Crows. Yes.
It'll probably make the final, I guess. I don't know. Definitely. Yep. Oh, well, it's all good news. I don't follow the football, but there you go. Lots of people do. The Economic Roundtable, ladies and gentlemen, discussing tax and productivity, begins today. Did you notice how they subtly changed the name? No longer productivity tax, it's now called the Economic Roundtable. It seems the unions who run the government think that the word productivity means working harder, achieving more. Well, yes. Yes, that's exactly what it should mean. Working from home and only 4 days a week at the office. I don't know if that includes the days that you spend at home or not. That's not going to help productivity, but that's what the unions are about. I think it's all been worked out anyway. What happens around the table is only to legitimise what they've already decided. It's a joke. And you know why we weren't at the table? Because we are on the menu. A subtle difference. The Anchorage, Alaska summit was a waste of time and a big waste of avgas. You can't negotiate with a thug. These talks weren't productive or meaningful. Didn't resolve anything. Putin came looking for international respectability, stature, which Trump gave him. But why? He could have done better with a phone call. It doesn't really make any sense. There's no ceasefire. Oh, it's what Putin wants, straight to a peace agreement. Really, I'd like to see that. Putin got everything that he wanted at that meeting. As we look back on the end of World War II, 80 years ago, this week, or more correctly last week, have we learned nothing? Neville Chamberlain, Prime Minister of Great Britain, meeting with Hitler and then waving the piece of paper at the airport, the London airport, peace in our time. Moments later, Hitler invades Poland. You cannot appease a dictator. Vladimir Zelensky knows this, and he will not give 1 inch of Ukraine to Russia. And neither should he. He has the high moral ground. Putin is an indicted war criminal. For Trump to roll out the red carpet for this creep was a very bad decision. Not a good look. It shows Trump, in my humble opinion, and I know little about international politics and the ins and outs and the intrigues, but it shows Trump to be naive. Well-meaning, but naive. All of this will encourage others. It'll encourage China and all the other tin pot, despot dictators to think that they can walk in and take anything they want from anyone. Watch it. 80 years ago, a lot of things happened 80 years ago. 80 years ago, George Orwell published Animal Farm. The story that infuriated communists and socialists all over the world. His publisher at the time, being a well-known lefty, was less than helpful with the book. You probably know the story. The animals are archetypical. They are us, recognisably us, easily recognisable people. On the farm, all animals were equal, except some were more equal than others. Orwell died in 1950. He would be amazed that in all these years we have learned nothing, and these clowns continue to run so much of our lives. I'm talking about left-wing governments, or probably governments of any persuasion, really. The danger of concussion, talking about the Crows and AFL, the danger of concussion while playing sport is real. No contact sport comes without risk. Why people get into a boxing ring, I have no idea. But you just can't make contact sports safe. At the same point, personal responsibility must kick in. The insurance premiums that these people, I'm sure, have to pay will ultimately be prohibitive. The risk for these companies is too great, and their job as an insurance company is to manage the risk. Unfortunately, it's incalculable. They will just price themselves, the companies, price themselves out of the market. They don't want the business. Too risky. So if you play a contact sport, you just got to know that you're doing it at your own risk. That's the future. If you disagree, Friday morning, 9 o'clock, jeremycordeaux.com, 0491 65 68 60. I had to make sure I don't give you the phone number from my phone. Because ringing, that's not going to help. And you can get us, apart from Facebook on a Monday and a Thursday, you can catch us from the, well, I think all of the programs that we're doing now are turning up on YouTube. And Andy Martin puts them up there and, on his various podcasting platforms and venues, and we thank him for doing a wonderful job. By the way, talking about football, about which I know nothing, the AFL have recruited Snoop Dogg for the entertainment at this year's grand final. The AFL, which espouses proudly, and so they should, family values. I wonder if they know who Snoop Dogg is and what he sings about and his lyrics. Now, this is at a cost of, I don't know, I mean, it's all supposition, but
4 million, I think.
4 million? 4 million for one day's performance. Clearly, the AFL has not done its homework. The guy sings about some pretty terrible things. It's okay, probably, for the streets of New York, and then, even then you'd really question it. The language of the streets, violence, misogyny. Why? Why would you want that? Why is this chosen as entertainment for the family-friendly AFL Grand Final? Anyway, what has an American rock concert got to do with an iconic Australian sporting event? Bring on Kylie Minogue. We've got thousands of enormously talented Australian people. Anyway, you might like to talk to me about that one as well. The first real attempt to tackle the problem, the pernicious problem of plastic. Over 100 countries got together, all with a different axe to grind, but a desire to be seen, at least to be seen trying to do something. But recognizing at last that something has to be done is simply not enough. Only 11% of global plastic is recycled. 11%, that's appalling. It's funny how such an innovation, a revolution, could become such a problem. It's hard to know at what point plastics got out of control. It's linked to population, I reckon. Simple as that. We could lay a lot of problems at the feet of population, overpopulation. Perhaps we are the problem. But we can't ignore plastics any longer. Plastics in all its form. We got very little out of this international conference. A great opportunity, missed. You can't ask all of these people to agree. All have competing interests. A global strategy on reducing the use of plastics should have been formulated and then imposed on everyone for the good of the planet. Then let them stand up and say, no, bugger the planet. Hell, look, they mightn't like it, but they would have to do it. Well, that's the only way you're going to get something done, decided. Plastic in all its forms is killing the planet. Oceans, wildlife, yes, humanity. It's getting into our DNA. Microplastics. Don't keep putting this off. The next looming disaster is batteries. This is the explosive one. All of those people turning to batteries to save the planet are doing the exact opposite. Electric cars, windmills, solar, those huge storage batteries, all promoted and embraced without any thought as to their eventual disposal. How can you promote a problem telling us that it's a solution? Stupidity. Really is. Peter Manuel sent me an interesting little story. Peter Manuel has this great little organisation called FLAG. He's a proud promoter of the Australian flag. A groundbreaking study, he tells me, from the University of Nebraska reveals something quite shocking. Raising more cows could eventually save the planet. Now, mind you, Peter is a farmer, so I'm not surprised that he would spot this. Raising more cows could eventually save the planet. It turns out that cows are carbon negative. They produce more oxygen than the methane and the carbon they emit. So what's the solution? Peter says, eat more steak and save the world. I don't think the climate activists will like that one bit. The story started out to be, I guess it would have been simply about the $500,000 that we're giving to Papua New Guinea for a rugby league football team. Now, that wasn't, I mean, I've talked to you about that before. But what caught my attention was the speech given by James Marape, the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea. What he said was pretty inspirational. He spoke of division within his country. We must be one nation, united, not divided, he said. Damn right. Absolutely, I agree. But our Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, standing in front of three flags, welcome to country, division and discontent everywhere you look. I mean, where did he get the right, the permission to diminish the importance, the status of the great Australian flag? Why was he allowed to sneak in this disrespectful nonsense? Flags unite people. Three flags will divide them. We're here with the best wishes of the rising sun, ladies and gentlemen, 60 Bridge Street at Kensington. That telephone number, you can talk to Grant or Jackie, 8333-0721. And at this time of the year, there's still enough nip in that air, even though I can see on the ash tree, the claret ash trees outside. I've got a few beautiful claret ash trees, and they have these flowers that come out about this time of the year, almost like clockwork. They are flowers, and the bees, hundreds of bees, thousands of bees come around, and these little flowers give way to the leaves. So when you see the flowers, you know that spring is not far away, only a matter of weeks. But there's still enough nip in the air to make sure that if you go to the rising sun and you sit in front of one of those beautiful open fires, you will enjoy every minute of it. That's not to speak of even the beautiful menu and the fantastic wine list. The Rising Sun, regularly chosen as the best pub or inn in South Australia. And Elder Fine Art Gallery with a second big auction. I should be getting my catalogue soon, within a couple of weeks, I would think. But talk to Jim or Helen if you have a painting that you'd like to get in there. Maybe you can get it in to this sale. If you do and you're looking to sell, he'll get you the best price. I know that because I've sold paintings through Jim and Helen. What you've got to do is to get an appraisal first and see if you're inspired to sell. The telephone number is 8267 2869. If you're looking to sell a painting or you're looking to buy a painting, couldn't do better than that. Now, Friday, do give us a call around the dining room table, jeremycordeaux.com, live streaming, 0491 65 68 60. Or you can get the app, which is Simple Radio. And Simple Radio, literally, the signal is very good. People do tell me they sometimes have problems on their computer, but that app is very good. You'll have me in the palm of your hand, where you know I like to be. How much time have I got, Pete? None. None. Okay, we shall tell you about the day. I'll grab my glasses. Happy birthday if you're having a birthday. Wedding anniversary, special day. Hope it's a especially nice day. Well, look at that. It's the 19th. The 19th of August. The first electric taxis drove in London. When do you reckon that might have been? Would you believe? 1897. They didn't catch on then. I wonder if they'll catch on this time. 1897. Orville Wright, American aviator, the Wright brothers, born in Dayton, Ohio. It was 1871 on this day. Soviet Sputnik 5 carries 2 dogs, 2 rats, 40 mice, a rabbit, and fruit flies into space. And the first animals to all return alive from orbit. A happy ending. American singer and actor Chris Christopherson, lovely guy. Troubled in many ways. I think he died, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh dear, yeah. He was 37 and he wedged American singer Rita Coolidge. He met her on a aeroplane, so the story goes. They divorced in 1980. 2020, Apple becomes the first US company to be valued at $2 trillion. Just 2 years after it reached the $1 trillion valuation. You have them shares, ladies and gentlemen, you'd have a smile on your face. Chinese community in South Africa is granted white status in 1970. Matthew Perry, Canadian-American actor, born in 1969, he died 2023. Groucho Marx, American comedian, the Marx Brothers, You Bet Your Life. Oh, he did so many wonderful things. Groucho Marx was fabulous. He died at 86. Well, he smoked cigars, that was quite remarkable anyway. And his wife, Barbara, went on to marry Frank Sinatra. Coco Chanel, French designer, born in France, 1883. Mary Queen of Scots arrives in Scotland to assume the throne after spending 13 years in France. 1561, ladies and gentlemen. World War II, over 4,000 Canadian and British soldiers are killed, wounded or captured during a raid in France. God, that was 1942. 1942. 1965, the Auschwitz prison camp, concentration camp trials end with 6 life sentences. Johnny Nash, American pop a reggae soul singer, songwriter, record producer, I can see clearly now. Born in Houston, Texas. He died in 2020, and he was born this day in 1940. They erected a statue for Tony Bennett on this day in 2016, by the way, outside the Fairmont Hotel, where he first performed his signature song, I Left My Heart, in San Francisco. It was back in 1961. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll be back with another posting on Facebook. Won't be a pasting. Although in this day and age, you spend so much time on a computer, you're pasting things. It's an easy mistake to make. Anyway, see you at 9 o'clock on Thursday morning with another posting on Facebook and podcasting opportunities on various platforms, and the program on Friday morning, 9 o'clock until 12, jeremycordeaux.com. Believe in yourself. Thank you for viewing the Court of Public Opinion. Believe in yourself, and bye for now.